Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is a video that many of you wanted, Q&A with Glenn and Cameron. I'm going to answer a few questions that I get all the time because I love how this works. When I get a certain question over and over again, I do a video, so when I get it again, I can just copy and paste without going through a 2 or 3 paragraph response. So, from the top, number 1, Glennon, why are you out the business? I became ill, something called maybe chronic fatigue syndrome. I don't know, still have periods with that. My partner was diagnosed with cancer. We couldn't run the business. That's why I'm out the business. During the recovery, I started writing, a lifelong passion, something I wanted to do for, this was the third go round and it worked out and that's what I'm doing. And on that, let me really talk to you about something. Let me let you know something. If I had not became ill, if my partner wasn't diagnosed with cancer and she passed, this YouTube channel would not exist. None of the books would exist because this is just my opinion. Just my opinion. I don't believe that you can be in the business and selling informational products about the business and be 100% honest. Can you write a book? Sure. Are you going to give all of your best secrets to your competition? No, you're not. It doesn't make any sense. And when I was recovering, I said, if I write this book, the chances of me getting back in the business are going to be pretty slim. And that was just the reality. We have to be honest about these things. There's one of the immutable laws of nature is only one thing can occupy one space at one time, unless you want to get into quantum physics or some other stuff. But on this level, on this plane, that's the deal. So I knew going in, there was a good chance. Then the TV shows came calling, had a chance to be on the reality television show. It did not work out. Then I actually consulted on a few projects. But that's the deal with that. If anyone's telling you, hey, I'm in the business, but I'm going to give you my best secrets, I would be a little suspect of that. Just really, really suspect. Number 2, hustler mindset. I want a preview. Hey, do I have to pay? Can I get a little sample? Can I get a free trial? No! Was that loud? Was that clear? No. If you want a sample, you want a preview, I got you. I got you like you've never been got before. Do this. Go, you're watching this channel. Go to Glenn and Cameron. It should be right there. Click on the channel. Then there's a window that's going to open up and it'll be the channel. And then go to videos. And there's 539 videos. That's your preview. 539 videos. That's your preview. If you are not induced to join the hustler mindset after looking at those videos, many of those videos have helped people save money, make money, actually improve their lives. If you can't get it from that, there's no preview that I can create that's going to help and convince you. So let me go ahead and give you the philosophy of the hustler mindset. If you remember the movie 300, fucking awesome movie. Love the movie, love the concept. 300 men are fully immersed, fully committed to one endeavor or greater than 1,000. That is the core principle of the hustler mindset. When I created this, it was not created for any and everybody. I had no grand expectations of getting millions of views. No, it was going to be created for a few folks who actually wanted to spend the money to learn how to improve their lives. That was the gist of it. I'm not looking for this thing to blow up. I'm not looking for 1 million people. So that's the deal. There is a hustler mindset project, kind of telling you about the project. That's pretty much the only preview that's going to be up there. I'm not going to run hustler mindset videos here on YouTube. Maybe like a 4-minute preview. If there's a video that's an hour long, I may give you 3 minutes in another video. I'm not going to tell you. You have to watch the video to see. But I love this project. The energy is awesome in there. I like the people in there. And if it stays small, I'm cool with that because you can't be all things to all people. I don't subscribe to this notion that everything should be free. No, everything can't be fucking free. And for those of you who are looking for that, I got a secret for you. Everyone's looking for secrets, right? If you're always looking for something and you never take the time to develop something, you'll never be anything. That's the secret. You have people that go from thing to thing to thing to thing, and they never invest any time, energy to anything, and they wonder why their life sucks. That's one of the reasons. But that's the deal with the hustler mindset. What happened to the storage auction stories? You know, I've been waiting and you haven't done any one. I really appreciate Craigslist, crazy Craigslist stories, but where are the storage auction stories? Got you again. They're coming, but I have a different format. And I'm going to explain to you exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. I actually deleted all of my, Storage Wars, Auction Hunter. I deleted all of them off my DVR because I got really sick and tired of like throwing stuff at the television. Because before I deleted it, I saw one. They were in Hawaii. This was Auction Hunters. And they got a unit full of hydroponic equipment. And I'm just sitting there like, that's one of my stories from my blog. They're the worst. They are the absolute worst. And I'm sick and tired of seeing my shit somewhere else. And the thing is, it's pretty much a challenge. It's like, hey, you can come after us, but you're going to have to spend all this money. And really, I made the decision. It's not fiscally worth it. From a standpoint of personal satisfaction, it would be great. But you have to be smart about these things. Like I tell you, I looked at it, talked to my attorney. From a statistical point, from a metric of money, it's just not worth it. And I really didn't like that. I really wanted to just like bring hell, but you got to pick and choose your battles. So in that vein, I decided to take down the blog. Blog's taken down, all the stories are gone, and put those stories in a book, which is some of those stories are in the Porn Is Always in the DVD player. There will be a few more of those books because there are many, many more stories. So I took down the blog. And I'm creating a process that protects me and my intellectual fucking property without having to go through that. Because I'm going to give you a little thing about statutory, about IP, internet, intellectual property content laws. Okay, the way it is, it works with copyright. The minute that I write something or do a video, it's immediately copyrighted. Bam, it's mine, whatever. But to sue someone in the way the country's set up, it has to be filed. It's $35. You can do it electronically. You have to file that story with the Copyright Office. And you have to do that before you can sue anybody. But if it gets to a point where you have to sue someone and you haven't filed the copyright before the copyright infringement happened, you cannot get statutory damages, which are quite substantial. What I'm doing is creating a system where if it happens again, I will be in line to get statutory damages, which means they probably will not do it and they will have to be complete dumbasses to do it. So that's what it is. It's like, hey, you can have what you got, but the deal is there's better, bigger, funnier, crazier stuff that I never talked about, and I'm so glad I never did. Oh, I would be ready to just drive, get in my car, and just do some stupid shit, just to be stupid stuff. But I calmed down, came up with a plan, and they're coming. There will be more storage auction stories. There's a lot more. As like I said, there's a lot of stuff I didn't talk about. I just had to figure out a way to protect myself and to keep myself from going nuts because there's some good stuff that's to come. Crazy Craigslist stories. Love them. There are actually more crazy Craigslist stories than there are storage auction stories. I pegged it, and I used to keep track. At one point, it was like 7,000 Craigslist transactions. Understand, I had a 10,000 square foot warehouse, was posting 50 to 100 ads a day on Craigslist. It was insane. So there was a lot of Craigslist stories. There's a ton of Craigslist stories. And that's why I'm leading with that, because the space, the TV, they're not doing Craigslist. I've heard Craigslist mentioned more and more on the shows, but the first 2 years they weren't talking about Craigslist. I wonder why, but now all of a sudden they are. But anyway, that's not the gist of their stories. The gist of their stories is getting a unit, getting something getting the wow factor, getting something crazy. They haven't even caught up to this yet. And at some point they probably will, but I'll be so far ahead they couldn't even see the dust. And that's the reason. So, for the foreseeable future, until I, get the stuff, get it copyrighted and everything, bam, you're going to be with crazy Craigslist stories, because these stories are crazy, they're unique, and they're freaking just dangerous. I mean, some of this stuff, I have to just kind of scratch my own head, like, how the hell did you get into that type of situation? But maybe I'm not as risk adverse as I should be. As for, the boot camps, Okay, there's there's a few more boot camps that are in process. They're going to kick off this week, and once they're done, I'm going to go to this format. Everything's going to go to the hustler mindset. Once you get on the inside, everything will be heavily discounted. But I'm moving there because I like the energy, and I like the fact that people are actually doing the stuff that I talk about. They're actually doing it, and if you do it, there's going to be benefit, and it's going to work, and it's going to improve your life. I want that kind of action. Let me just say something. I love YouTube. Yeah, without YouTube, I would not be where I'm at. If you've heard me, I've never complained about YouTube. I'm not about to start complaining about YouTube. Love this channel because I realized something that is really incredible. It's 100% free. In my case, I actually get paid from YouTube. It was free. It's a marketing arm, a marketing asset that is free. I just can't. When I sit back and I think about the resources and the things that they invest in this channel, and sure, is it perfect? No. Sometimes there's glitches. There's just this huge platform shift. And it's just, once again, it's still free. I don't feel the need to go around doing videos complaining about YouTube because it's the best thing going in terms of marketing. You just can't beat it. You really can't. So, YouTube's thumb ups, love it, and I will be here. And that's the deal. A lot of the stuff that goes on in the hustler mindset is never coming to YouTube because I've learned something in these going on 4 years of being online and conducting this business, that there are certain people who are going to pay for certain things. There are certain people who are not. I don't care how great it is. I don't care how much evidence they have that this works. There are some people who are like, I am cheap. I'm not paying if I can get it for free. Hence the hustler mindset. Because there's leakage. When I put up a great video here on YouTube, it leaks to other sources. And people sometimes take that information and go, I actually thought of this. And then, I get, emails from people like, hey, I was at such and such forum and this guy's acting like, the thing that you put in the video is his. And I was like, you tell that sorry bastard he's a fraud. But with the hustler mindset, and I'm telling you, there's great stuff back there. We're not going to have those problems because it's $25 a month. Not a large sum of money. You spend that going out on a Saturday. You would You would spend that going to the movies. You would spend double that if you get popcorn, a hot dog, and a soda to see 1 2-hour movie. So, to me, $25 a month for information that will help you make money. I'm not really. I actually just between you and me. Once it gets fully fleshed out, I'm going to jack the price up to $100. Everyone that's coming in right now is what I'm going to call founders. You come in under the founder, I haven't decided when I'm going to do the price increase, but it's coming. And if you watch this channel, if you've been here since day one, remember, that first book was $19.99, which is matriculated into a $124 book. When I say I'm going to raise the price, I'm not like these other folks, oh no, I'm not, or I'm just bullshitting. It will go up. It may not go up when I say it will, but it will go up. But anyway, those who come in now, $25 a month, I'm never going to raise the price. And you'll be open to all types of discounts and stuff because other stuff's coming. When we get to, we're going to do mind mapping. There's so many things that we're going to do that I don't feel like putting here on YouTube because, see, this is the thing. And I don't know this guy's name, but when I first started, it was a blog post. And like I said in the last video, how if you search the internet, there are brilliant people that may not get a lot of acclaim, they may not get a lot of love or juice, but they have great information if you're mentally in a place to recognize that it's great information. And he said something that changed my online life. There are people who are like, this was blogging was super high. It's like, hey, get 1 million views. It's very hard to get a lot of views. And once again, if you look at blogs and sites, and not always because there's a lot of smart people out there, but typically the people with a lot of views, big readership, followership, they've been online for quite some time. That's not something you can easily replicate. Being online for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 years. You just can't replicate that. So I read it and he said, create a product. Now I'll tell you exactly what it said. Create a product, $25, right? And if you can sell that product to 2,000 people in a year, minus your processing fees. This is a digital download product. That's $50,000 a year. And on that, I have to check myself. When I say $50,000 a year house, annual income, that's household. I'm sorry, that's not individual. Individuals like 24 to 32,000. So that guy who did 25,000 in 1 month and still counting, because now it's gone up a little bit. It's at 30 now. He did in 1 month what the average person does in a year. Think about that. Storage auctions. Let's talk about storage auctions. There are many people who are doubtful, who don't believe that you can make any money in the storage auction business. I know from experience that you can. And over these last 3 years, I've seen many, many other people do quite well. Now, what is the difference between a person who does well in the storage auction business and a person who doesn't? It's one word: expectations. That's the difference. There are people who expect to go out, spend $500, make $1,500 to $5,000 right off the rip, just because, without little analysis that most of the people in this country, what did I just give you? Average income, 24, 30, 32, 32, 20, 20 something to 32,000 a year. That's poor, okay? I'm just straight up. That's poor. 10 years ago, that was okay, but right now, that's poor when, I don't care where you are, average rent and mortgage is $500 to $700 times, that's a third or half your income if you're in the 20 to 30 range, and that could be in the hood. So, some things to think about. But back to the reason that people fail: expectations. When I got into business, I was driven by curiosity and passion, and I had an expectation to do well, but I knew I was going to have to work very hard. There's some of you, if you went through what I went through here in Georgia, and I don't want to hear the stuff about, hey, the TV shows went on. No, Georgia has one of the most competitive storage auction cliques around. There's a lot of people. People come from Florida. People come from South Carolina. People come from Tennessee. People come from Alabama, because there's so many auctions that go on here. It was rough. I went through, initiation of trial by fire, because the thing is, there weren't as many people out there, but the people that were out there were very territorial. So I had to go through my paying the dues, so to speak. But the deal is, if you want to be really successful in this business, no, you will work very hard. This is not a business that you can, quote, automate or outsource certain things, because I'll give you an example. I bought a unit, big unit, but, one of the things that I made as a policy, even when I had my guys load and I wasn't there, I went through the unit. And usually it was only furniture. Usually I would pull out smalls, whatever I can, because you never know what the hell's going to be in boxes. You have no clue. And even if the box is taped up, you can lift it up, it can kind of crack open and something can fall out. This has happened to me I don't know how many times. But I would always be on site. Always. And this one time, dudes were moving stuff in, and we got to the middle, and I grabbed this box. And it was real funny because the box was heavy. Pop it open, it's a coin collection. No, not gold coins or silver, just a coin collection, but a very large coin collection. Wheat pennies, hay pennies, Kennedy silver. I mean, just the volume, it was the reason that I did well on it. I paid $800 for the unit, and the coin collection did $2,400. Now there was hundreds of coins, okay, and it wasn't like the coins were like $5 for this coin, $10 for this coin, $20 for this coin. I think the most expensive coin was like a $50 coin, but there was hundreds of coins, so it all added up. And then, essentially a box that could have fit in someone's car, just boop, been gone. I never would have known about it. You can't do that. You have to have someone trusted there to load units. You just have to. And it takes time to build that type of trust and relationship with somebody, because you're paying someone $10 an hour, they're struggling, their light's about to be turned off, and here's a diamond ring or a gold ring right there, and all they got to do is grab it and put it in their pocket. I trust the man, but I don't trust his situation. That situation can make you do some things you would not normally do. Why even leave yourself open to risk like that? You just can't. But with the storage auction business, and mark my words, it's about to get better, because America's fascination with storage auctions is kind of declining. They're still interested in looking, but actually like going out, because there's so many blogs, there's so many stories like, hey, this shit's hard and you won't make any money or you're going to lose money. They're all over the net. And that's like dissuading a lot of people. For the folks who stuck with it, bam, they're finding gold coins. They're getting coins. I mean, they're starting to really get stuff because they stuck with it. Now let's talk about success. I'm always talking about success on this channel, and I got another secret for you. You must actually do some stuff before you can be something. There are many people out there who are smart, hardworking, intelligent. That's redundant, I know. But you get the gist. But the thing is, they've never done anything with it. Just, this quote by Salvador Dali. Intelligence without ambition is like a bird without wings. You got all this stuff, right? But you can't take flight because you ain't doing anything with it. And that's where a lot of people are. They're like, hey, I want to really, really be something, but I don't want to invest any energy, any effort, any time. I just click. I want to buy, I want some secrets. Or, I just want to go in there and really make this cake off and make all this money without really investing a lot. I mean, come on. I'm like special and it should happen. And it's not. It's not going to happen. It's never going to happen, because there is a proven path to success, and it's strewn with hard work, dedication, tenacity, and failure. That's it. That's the secret. As long as you keep trying and learning from your mistakes, ultimately you will be successful. What day that will be, for some people, is decades. For some people, it's weeks. For some people, it's months. But you will be putting in work. And I do get the work smart, not hard. But two, I want you to think about something. If you work smart and hard at the same time, think about what you're going to get away. Because, I've been there. You can't get away from hard work. I've been there. You're just like, there are no shortcuts. I've tried. And once I learned there were no shortcuts and accepted that and moved forward, success just started popping up all over the place. I'm telling you. So, that's the deal. But those are like some of the frequently asked questions and, what's going on with you. And, I forgot the most important stuff. Books. Okay. There are some people who don't like ebooks. Oddly enough. You can get Storage Auctions 101, new Storage Auction Buyer's Handbook, Pimping Craigslist for Fun and Profit, and the Ultimate Garage Sale. You can get that on Kindle right now. If you want it, you can go ahead and get it. Make It Money A to Z. You can only get that on Amazon, because there's 2 storage auction books on Kindle, and Kindle has a certain price point that people are comfortable with, and the book is beyond that. So Make It Money A to Z, you can only get that on Amazon. And the 48, actually this should be a separate video. It'll be redundant, but I'm gonna do it anyway. 48 hours to storage auction success. You will not be able to get on Amazon. You will only be able to get it from me, and the reason is, well, I said at the beginning of the video, Amazon has a feature that's cool, but I really don't like, and it's the look inside feature. They're only supposed to show 20% of the book. I'm going to have a link in the book to the video that's an overview of the book. But if I put it on Amazon, I've been through this. There are people who've emailed me, and I've contacted Amazon, and it happens where you just go and the whole book is wide open. Anyone can just flick. And when the internet works, hey, go in this book, that real expensive one. Yeah, it's wide open, and you can get the link for free. And people will start sharing that shit like it's bananas. I've seen it. And that's why, for the foreseeable future, it's not going to be on Amazon. At some point, it probably will be. But this year, no. You're going to have to get it from me. That's going to be the only way. The ebook is $99. The hardback, the paperback, $124. You can get that today if you want, but that's the only way. And it will include the webinar. 2-hour webinar with just an overview of the book. That'll be out later this week. And essentially that's it, because I'm tired of people riding my dick. Get off my nuts! For real. So, like I said, just, this will not stop people from doing what they've been doing, but they're going to have to spend money and work really hard, which will cut out 99.8% of that, and that's 2% that was going to do it. No matter what they're going to do it anyway. I can live with the 2%. It's just not making things easy for people, and that's the deal. So hopefully this answered some of your questions. Hopefully you are satisfied, and if not, have a cup of coffee and enjoy yourself. All right, this is Glendon. I will see you in the next video. Work this. Okay, I'm going to start from the beginning. I can't quit my day job before I can cover my bills and have health insurance. Is that a true statement, or is the added 40 hours a week going to cover it? How do you decide when to quit your job? Super tricky question, because it's a personal decision. It's a faith decision and a comfort decision. I can give you 2 examples of people that didn't have jobs. One quit, one was fired. The one that was fired lost everything, no health insurance or nothing. So the person that was fired, laid off 3 times, was me. I went a period of maybe 18 months without health insurance. Fortunately for me, I was healthy. Fortunately for me, nothing happened. But there's a risk. I had a friend that quit, had about $300,000 in the bank, a lot of good stuff going on. His wife got sick. It completely wiped him out. So it's a hard one. I just got to, you really got to sit down with your wife and really discuss that one, because it's easy for me to say quit your job now, because last 12 years I haven't had a job, so I'm comfortable with the risk of not having a job. But when you're transitioning from a job to your own business, it's a very scary thing, because not only do you lose a job, you lose a lot of your identity. Most people, anywhere from 20 to maybe 80% of who they are is wrapped up in their job. So you go from not having a job, not having health insurance, to losing a good part of your identity. It's a lot to handle. I would say, just to give you some parameters, 3 years of money in the bank before you quit your job. 3 years to cover expenses. 3 years worth of expenses. So if you were making, just throw out a number. I don't know what you make. Say 30. If you got around 90, I think you would be good to go. Also, on the insurance tip, look in your local area for what's called concierge or boutique medicine. There are a lot of doctors that are taking subscription plans where you pay the doctor anywhere from $35 a month. I think the initial visit's going to be, because there's a guy I'm looking at that does this, I think it's $500. Then after that, it's like $50-$60 a month. And also, since you own the business, this is a big write-off for you. It's a big write-off. So that's something else to look into, because depending upon what your health insurance costs and your other deductions, getting an expensive health insurance policy could seriously offset your taxes. And understand, I'm just speaking abstractly here, because you got to sit down, crunch out the numbers, talk to someone for your particular situation. But it may not be as bad as I'm thinking, because, like I said, I've been healthy. I've been able to get Kaiser really cheap, $185 a month. When it started, it's $250 now. So, and I really don't use it. But it's that comfort level. Once, do this. List all of the reasons that you can't quit your job and start solving them. And I think you'll be in a better situation. So here's a question for Philip. I'm studying the courage section now and was wondering if you could share some specific courage development exercises. Some more, because there are some in there. I started, keep going. There's stuff in there, because that's the whole thing. I should say the course is layered and it's modeled after things I had to do and things I had to overcome, because I didn't like talking to people. in the street. I hated talking to strangers, and I have no problem doing it now. I didn't like it, but this book so good they can't ignore you, and it talks about this phenomenon. Things that because people are thinking, oh, I gotta have passion. I have found out in my life, and if you look in your life, you'll probably see the same thing. Things that were challenging in the beginning, things that you didn't like, once you became good, they became fun. But there will be there's more coming in there. But yeah, there's exercises in that course. I don't know how deep you are into it, but they're there. And while we're talking about that, let me show you this. Let's go to here. Okay. Courage, the mental gym. There's exercises here. Purpose equals action. Perspectives. Yeah, there's stuff in there, and there's going to be some more. And do this because, I know there's exercises in the course in my mind. If you have any suggestions, send them to me at updates@hms300.com. And I can look at that. Now, let's see. Next week, we'll jump into, this is what's going to happen. I guess I should let you know my new schedule. Since I know I'm going to be working weekends, I kind of take 2 days during the week or a day to really not do too much. So, since I know I'll be working this weekend, there's going to be more stuff going up in the Hustler University, some more videos, and a few other things to get everything situated for Monday. So, I encourage people to go through, introduction to the project, lesson 1, courage, the mental gym. Go through this purpose equals action, perspective. Some of these things are going to change around a little bit. Go through that stuff first because I know everyone wants to get to the money. Go to the income generation courses. But what I learned is without the proper mindset, you can have the best information in front of you, and it really will not help you as much as if you have the proper mindset and then have the best information in front of you. If that makes any sense. Let's see. No more questions. I'm going to actually share some with you. I had a consult early this week with a person, and they're not here tonight because daughter's cheerleading. But they came into the hustler mindset with the reseller bent, and we had a consult. And this is why I like talking to people, and this is why I've changed the course around. I was able to discover some of her true passions, and essentially we did a little research. I knew this place existed, but she was blown away about this community that exists that shares her passion. She had no idea that it was that huge, and it's way bigger than picking, storage auctions, reselling combined. It's huge, and she's like full of energy and excitement. So if you came in here on the reseller tip, you might have interest, desires in an area that's a very big market. And let's talk about markets. I'll tell you about Kindle because at some point I'm gonna do the Kindle thing, but I want to get Hustler University done. I want to get get the main bulk of it done and some other stuff. But we'll touch on Kindle because this is the thing that I've discovered about Amazon. I don't know how many of you remember when I was advertising super heavily on not Craigslist, but YouTube and pissing people off. I was driving sales, and it made a difference. But the way that Amazon works is if you have a product for a pool of buyers that are already there that want it, it's a totally different ballgame. I write erotica. I've got some poetry books. I've got a few things under pen names that I do not promote at all. And the reason is those things under pen names are for me. Because for the last, 4 years now, I've been writing all this stuff, and it's been written for other people because that is the business person in me. A lot of writers is like, I'm just going to write this thing and I'm writing for myself. And then they get all butthurt when nobody wants to read that stuff because they didn't write it for anyone but themselves. And if they're happy, they should be happy. But truly, every writer wants other people to read and go, yay, that was good, and pat them on the head. Trust me, I see it in my writing groups all the time. And they'll say, I don't believe in reviews. No, but they want it. But what I've learned is, and you could take this and apply it to anything, go out and look at the market and see what the market wants and bring your products toward that market versus buying something and hoping it will sell. But with Kindle, I've got short stories. You can sell short stories on Kindle. It blows my mind. But these things just move with no marketing muscle on my part. It just kind of blew my mind. And when we get to the Kindle course, well, I'll talk about that because, the top topics are erotica, horror, mystery, romance, do-it-yourself. Those topics rock. Like I had a friend who wrote a little how-to chess guide and put it on Kindle, and that book makes her about $150, $200 a month. It took her a weekend to write. And to give you a perspective, and just don't think about this in Kindle. Think about this in products that you can create. Think about this in anything that you can generate. The producer versus consumer mindset. If you can create something and you do it just once, and if it makes a small sum of money for you, but it makes it for a long period of time, that's an amazing return on investment. Say it takes you a week to create this product. And once the product's done and you've got it set up where you can just duplicate it really easily, and that product makes you $25 every time you sell it, and you sell about, 20 a month, and this goes on for years, that's an incredible investment. Incredible return. So think of things that you can do, because the big focus with the Hustler Mindset Project is moving people to create businesses, services, products, or a combination of different sales channels where you can make a six-figure income. And I'm going to tell you why that's my goal. 6 figures to someone who never made it is a lot of money. Essentially, you make $100,000, they're going to take $35,000 in taxes if you have a job, maybe more. If you have a business and you know what you're doing, you can whittle that down to about 20 or even less, depending upon your rate and whatever else you got going on. But taxes are going up. In the future, taxes are going up. That's one of the reasons that I'm saying get a Roth account, start putting money in it now. Taxes are going up because they have to. I don't care how much you slice it, and they're going to go up a lot because so many games have been played with monetary policy and the economy. And if you are in a situation where you're saddled with a lot of debt, and you're in a situation where you're not making decent money, your life is going to be very challenging in these United States of America. We're already at the beginning of those who have and those who don't have, and it's going to be really, really pronounced. You can forget about lower class, middle class, forget all about that. You have 2 groups of people that have the things that they need and want, and people who don't. The people who don't have that stuff, it's going to get huge. There's a lot of talk about buying gold and silver. And if we get to that point where those 2 metals become forms of currency, you're going to need a few guns and a lot of ammo, because the people who didn't prepare will try to take your stuff. So the reason I'm looking at this, I want to push as many people up to those upper incomes, not to ball out or trick out or do anything, but to have reserves to take care of themselves and their families, because you're going to need it. I mean, it's just the way, this is how I see it. This is what I'm doing. The reason I bought the new X5, and I wanted it, and it took me 2 years to, well, it really didn't take me 2 years to figure it out, but it took me about 4 weeks to come up with a plan, because I just could not, with my financial education, go out, buy an expensive vehicle, and just pour money into it with no return. I mean, I just can't do it. It makes no sense. But I've had it less than a month, and I've already got mileage deductions of $650 already. So if I do that every month, I offset my taxes, and I seriously reduce the cost of ownership of that vehicle. Seriously. If I get up to maybe 1,000 miles, and it's possible I could, because one of my clients' round trip is 232 miles. If I go up there 4 times a month, that's my car payment, and that's just in insurance, because my insurance went up about like $75, and then there's the cost of maintenance and all that stuff. It's included, because most people, when they calculate their car payment, it's my car payment's like $450. No, your car payment is $450. All the gas that goes in it, any increase in insurance, maintenance, you add that up for the year. So you may pay $450, which is like $5,000 towards the payment, but when you factor in the gas, the insurance, the car may actually cost you $9,000, maybe $10,000 a year. And if you're making $30,000, a third of your income is going to your vehicle. And I've seen a lot of people like that, and they're just like, I don't have any money. It's because your car has sucked up a third of your income. And it's common. It's very, very common. But as we go down this path, I'm going to share this stuff with you. And that's the reason, because some people were like confused, like, I don't want to incorporate. The way that it's going, it's going to be very, very hard for you to be under the radar. I'll share something at the end of this that's just going to blow your mind. But I'm going to answer another question. I'm planning on consigning handcrafted items, 30% to sell their arts and crafts. Is there anything that's going to be different than consigning resale items? No. The consignment is you are a broker. You choose to help market or sell other people's products. There's no difference if it's new, used, whatever. You can use the same agreement. Okay. And just to keep this kind of short, because we're at the 7-minute and 7:40 section time limit, I'm going to tell you something that happened to me, and I want all of you to do this. There's this thing called the National Drivers Database. It was created for a noble reason, to track down repeat DUI offenders, people who have DUIs, they move to another state, they get a new license. Well, some cookie in all the states say, hey, let's start putting in all these unpaid traffic tickets. So I got hit for 2 tickets. Actually, it was an accident. 2, 3, 4 tickets from 1989. And I paid them with American Express back in the day. If I had not paid them with American Express, and I called up American Express and they sent me the microfiche, I would have had to pay $2,800 to settle those things to renew my license. There was another thing, a seatbelt violation. So essentially, if you have any tickets that you think you forgot about, go to the National Drivers Database. You can get your record and see if any of your information's in there. And the reason that this is happening is because states are starved for income. They need revenue. I swear, I was down there. It took me 3 days to clear that crap up. And I mean, I haven't had a ticket in a long time. I was just blown away at what these fines are. They're like, at the DeKalb County Courthouse, the ATM machine puts out $100 bills. I am not kidding you. People were paying $700 here, $1,500 here, $20. It was like astronomical. And I was just like, whoa. So, National Drivers Database, check it out, because if you have any ticket in any jurisdiction, they're putting it in. Now, here's the other side of that. Tickets are misdemeanors. In most states, the statute of limitations on misdemeanors are 2 years to 4 years. So at some point, there's going to probably be a massive lawsuit, because this thing just came online late last year. This thing is brand new. And it was just blowing my mind how many people were getting caught up, because there was this one guy online. It was like a ticket from 1972. So that's my public service announcement to you. Do national drivers that check it out. Make sure, if you. I'm telling you, because the thing is, due to interstate reciprocal agreements, it doesn't matter if you got the ticket in New York. New York will stop you from getting your license wherever you are. I'm serious. It is crazy what's going on. But another thing, if I didn't have the resources or the time to really deal with this, because I had to keep them from throwing me in jail, I had to pay $1,500, and then I had the proof that I paid that ticket, and I went in and I was like, give me my money back, and it took them like 2 weeks to give me my money back. It was just crazy. It was just like, so what I'm telling you is, if you get a ticket now in the future, make sure you save your paperwork. Make sure you save your receipts. You actually scan a copy, send it to an email address, because I have an email address online that I forward everything, and it's just there forever. And that actually is two, because I got two Gmail accounts linked together. So when I send an email to the primary Gmail account, the second one gets one. So I got two backups in case something happens. Because if you don't have any documentation, even if you paid it, you didn't pay it, if you know what I mean. So just be really careful about that, because it literally blew my mind. I mean, seriously, and a lot of people are getting jammed up with this. I may even do a YouTube video about it, because there's a lot of people out there who have suspended licenses and they don't even know it. They have no clue, because it's crazy what's going on. So just letting you know about that. All right, well, that's the public service announcement. I'm going to sit here real quick. There's, like I said, some more questions and updates at hms300.com. If you got any questions, just send them there. Once again, that's updates at hms300.com. And the next video will probably be the combination of all those questions, or if it's one real juicy one. So, all right, it's 7:44. I'm going to shut this down, and I will see you on the good side. Done there. We'll get to the questions section. I decided to actually run Hustler University like this, because it's taking people a little extra time, because everyone has a life. People are doing stuff. So I'll do Monday, day 16, next Thursday, day 17. I'll do it like that, so you can ask questions in real time. And this will also be uploaded in Hustler University tomorrow. So let's go to the questions. Open up this queue. Test. Yep, Mac Miller. I love that song. I love it. I forgot I had it on. But anyone that has a question, just shoot right now. Because this was a common thing about the income goals. It's like the product sourcing goal and the income goal are proportionally linked. So if you're always sourcing products and you're always looking for stuff and you're selling at the same time, you're going to develop this money situation where there's money always coming into your life. Because one of the things, like the garage sales were great when we had them. They were awesome, and they took a lot of time to prepare for. And some would be really good and some would not. And you had all week to prepare and label and advertise. But we started doing really well when we had the garage sale, plus a ton of stuff on eBay, plus a ton of stuff on Craigslist, plus a ton of stuff on Amazon. So money was coming in. I remember some days on eBay, like if you set it up right, you can have $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 days on eBay. You just have to have the proper items. And it's just about creating that circle of money. So, let's see. Anyone has a question about that? There are some more questions that were sent to me to updates at hms300.com. And they're coming. I may actually probably do a standalone video and put that up there in webinar updates in the Hustler Mindset Project. So, I mean, yeah, you can use QuickBooks Pro. I mean, you can use anything you want to. It's just a matter of putting those numbers in. There's no, I mean, you can use, your notebook or whatever, as long as you have a way to keep up with this stuff. That's perfectly acceptable. Anything else? Because, like I said, trying to keep these at like 30 minutes because there's a ton of stuff in Hustler Mindset Project. So we've got a little time. And I don't know how fast the relay is on this. Does everyone understand how to build this process? I'm going to assume yes, because nobody said anything. Any more questions? I'll wait another 60 seconds. And if nothing else comes through, then if something hits you after the webinar is closing, because, during that moment when it's shutting down, you'd be like, oh, I want to ask this, just send the question to updates@hms300.com, and I will address it. This week's been really, really crazy, starting off Resaleology. And there's going to be some really cool stuff with that for the group. It's just I'm putting it together because there's going to be a ton of information coming from that project. Because I think I put it out in a YouTube video, but I don't know if I've actually did the HMS email yet. I probably haven't. But the goal is I started with $425, which is what I got when I sold my Herman Miller Aeron chair. And I'm not adding any more money. There's the consignment component, and then there's a few things that I bought, and I still have money. I still have most of the $425. I think I have like $390, and I'm going to use that to buy stuff, samples. I really have debated on the garage sale thing. I've got to do that a little differently because, just to give you an update, a friend of mine who is still in the storage auction business has 2 stores, and a lot of the stuff that you see on YouTube, and actually there will be another video up tonight because I went up to the Gainesville store. I'm helping market that stuff. Plus I'll be buying my own stuff and sourcing my own things. So that's what's going on. So let me check and see if there's an okay, hold on. Let's see. What is the best period to keep stock of product? How long to discount stuff? 90 days. You have stuff in your inventory 90 days, but you track it. The first 30 days, you see what happens, how many people look at it. If not, then the 6, after 30 days, you discount it. Then you get to 60 days, you discount it again. Because if it's not a seasonal item or it's not something that you researched and you know that it has high value, the market is telling you that it's just not going to pay that for it. So 90 days is plenty of times. Okay, Ed said yes. Can you see this? Can you see this? Okay. Sorry, I was late. Baby mama drama. Yes, this will be posted tomorrow. Can you talk about the women hustlers? I can't talk about the particular group I mentioned in the video, but they are coming on strong because the new economy is more beneficial for the women that know that it's more beneficial because it's really about knowledge. It's really about knowledge. Is there a lesson on warehouse employees? I probably will not do a lesson on warehouse employees because hiring is so subjective. I went with my Latino brothers for a reason. They were hardworking, and as long as I paid them fairly, I had no problems. But the quick lesson would be, before you hire anyone, you sit down and have a detailed job description of what they're supposed to do. And you make sure that they know all of their duties and functions daily. Because if you can, like when I had NASA, who used to list stuff on eBay, she had a list of items, prices, and things she had to do, and she had a time limit. Because this is one of the reasons that you need to do eBay listing yourself, so you kind of know how long it takes. And I knew even a rookie had to be able to do so much in certain times, and and she picked it up really quick. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, that book was, I just, someone that tweeted it to me, or I think it came across my Facebook. Living Rich by Spending Smart. Ed's already freed up 120 in unnecessary costs. That's $1,400 a year. That's a lot of money. How much does it cost for you to review a formal business plan? Actually, it's not going to take that long, and that's something we can do in a regular consult. So that's just $100. Okay, I think I got to all of the questions. I'll hold on a second because this thing was taking a minute to refresh. Yeah, I should, yeah, while we're on that, let's talk about what Sparta is becoming. There's a lot of founders, your guys at $25 a month, you get the ebooks, the audiobooks, you remember Hustle You, that stays. And if you want to consult, that's $100 a month. The next stage is $59.95. Pretty much they're the same as you guys, the founders. The third stage is $99.95. Every 2 months, those people get a 1-hour consult as part of their membership. And then the fourth level, might as well just say the $99 and the $200 level, because that's going to be the only thing available for most people, except for folks who find Easter eggs. Because at the end of my videos, I put in Easter eggs, because the thing is, it hit me. Anyone that will watch a video that's 20 minutes long, 30 minutes long, and get to the end, there's an Easter egg, and they can come in at $59.95, but they won't get the consulting aspect unless they go up to a higher level. But that's just like, here and there. But the 2 levels will be $99.95, with a 1-hour consult every 2 months. And then the $200 per month level is going to be totally different. It's going to be, when you come in, we're going to have a 1-hour consult immediately to flesh out your business, because anyone that's going to do $200 is going to be real serious, and they're going to have something going on already, or wants to have something going on really soon. And after that, once Sparta fills up, I'm probably going to shut it down for, to new people. It's not full yet, but it's kind of getting close, and I expect probably the next 3 months it will. So that's what's going on with that. What is the next audiobook and what is the topic? That's a good question. I have pulled back from producing the crazy audiobooks. Currently, there's The Journey to Storage Auction Success, Pimping Craigslist, the Chrome edition. Then there is the Hustler Mindset, Pimping Your Mind for Success. I am working on how to find gold in garage sales, but I am thinking about scrapping that project, because that's not really the focus of this plan. I like garage sales. You can get great deals, but they're seasonal unless you live in Florida, California, or someplace like that. They're very seasonal. And I'm looking at building a better business, which means, garage sales can be part of it. There's a list of books I have, and once I get all this stuff calmed down, because I think doing reselleology, sticking to helping people make 6-figure businesses is more important than anything else I was doing. So that is the beauty of Sparta. Like, if some's like, earlier on we were doing Fiverr, and actually some people did really well with Fiverr, but it wasn't working for everyone. But I do believe helping people build a 6-figure income is a worthy goal, and that's what I'm rocking on. The books are probably going to come out every 2 or 3 months. It'll give me more time. I was supposed to interview an editor this week, and she flaked on me. So that's another thing, because to tell you what's going to happen toward the end of the year is all the audiobooks will be converted to ebooks and print books. But I'm going to have a team. I'm not going to do it all myself or have one person. It's just I'll have them done, then I'm going to get them transcribed, and I'm going to have those people put it together. So they're going to be putting together either 6 or 8 books, and then you guys will get like a super discount on that stuff. But that's what I'm working on, because going through Reselology and showing you how to do the LLC, because right now I'm debating, do I want to do an LLC or a C Corp? I can get the business up and running and start making money while I debate that, because I may want to bring people in, and it's just going to be easier to, like, say if someone wants to buy 25% of the company, I can say create a price and bam, you get 25% of the company, put them on the corporate charter, and we're done. I have to really look at how that works with an LLC, because you can bring in people, but it's a little different. So I need to do some more research on that. But that's what's going on. The primary focus is Reselology, and I will tell you as I go through this, there may be potential buys where I can say, look, I got 200 of this item, and if it's a hot seller, if it's some, that I can ship, it's like, look, I'll sell it to you wholesale. Things like that. Because, like I said, I've got one major client. I'm courting another client. There's some other people that I'm looking at. So I will have access to all kinds of stuff and deals. I'm not building my resale business like I had it when I was in the storage auction business for a reason. They will require me to get a warehouse. They will require me to go out to auctions every week. And this would go away because I couldn't do both. I just couldn't. You can't serve two masters. And that was one of the really frustrating things about, like, how do I get back into business but don't kill myself and keep doing this because I really, really enjoy this? And it hit me. Just help people. My deal is if I sell people stuff, I get 20%. So I get access to stuff. I get some snazzy stuff for YouTube. And I'm not tied down. And I'm really going to hammer out this consignment concept because there's a lot of people that are interested into it, but it does have a high hassle factor. One potential customer, I've met her, took pictures of the stuff. I'm kind of waiting on her to, make sure the stuff runs and get the paperwork together because I can't advertise it the way that she wants it until we know so certain questions are answered. But due to my sales background, that just tells me I need more people in my pipeline. At first, it's just like, she's not ready. It's like, she'll be ready at some point. It may not be when I want it, but she'll be ready, and I need to go out and find some more people. If you're going to have less than 100 people, you can use a corp instead of a C. Yeah, I'm looking at that because there's some other stuff I'm thinking about. But I'm, like I tell you, like in the early part of the Hustler Mindset, I haven't had the time to sit down with my pen and paper and quiet time to really sketch it out. And I've just learned that when I make decisions like that, when I think about it, I write my goals out, it goes so much better. Because there's a lot of stuff running around in my head. Okay, let's see. Will you be branching out to other geographic areas for Reselology? Will you be looking to partner with Spartans? This is in my mind what will happen. Once I get the concept hammered down, which you're going to get for being in Sparta, you're free to do it wherever you are. Because franchising, maybe not. That's kind of like, there's a lot of questions that have to be answered. But the most important thing is to get it up and running. See, I can do a lot of stuff on the back end because that's why I'm not going ahead and running out to do the LLC or the C Corp until I do my due diligence. Because say I want to do franchises, it just depends. That stuff is on the development map, but I haven't fully sourced it out. But yes, you guys would be the first ones I would approach. Like, give you an example. I bought a unit that had 2,000 pair of cowboy boots, which is some that you can sell for years and years and years. I wouldn't do what I did the last time. I would say I'm going to sell X amount, and I would just wholesale a bunch of them because the boots, I could sell them cheap enough that, like, say, the boots would get you $50-$60 in a resale environment, like at a flea market, because they're that nice. I can sell the boots for $10 to $15 because, I've got thousands, and I can make a lot of money real quick, and then I can keep a certain amount to sell over time. That's how I would do it, and I would bring that to Sparta. Another thing that I'm opening up to, I have access to the Apparel Mart here in town. And if you don't know what that is, it's the Apparel Mart, Merchandise Mart, and the Gift Mart. It's a place where business owners go to buy stuff wholesale, but there's certain secrets to the mart that an average person doesn't know, because people go in there and it's like, yeah, you can get stuff real cheap. They don't know the secrets because, like, give you an example. Just before Thanksgiving, stuff is like half of wholesale, because they're bringing up discontinued stock or stuff that will be discontinued, and they're blowing it out. Something that normally be wholesale like $50, it may be 10, and it's brand new. And actually, the week after next, they're going to have cash and carry day, where they're putting out all their discontinued stock, floor samples, all that stuff. It's going to be nuts down there. So if you are not in that environment, you don't know that stuff happens. You can't take advantage of it. But I can go to the Apparel Mart and get samples pretty much Monday through Friday. It's just, you just got to know where to look and who to talk to. And, you know, I'll introduce you to stuff like, there's a lot of ideas I have for Reselology, and I'm going to try them. That's why I'm excited, because some of it's kind of wow. But honestly, I need to get out the house, because for 4 years I've been in the house and it's been great, and I think I'm starting to go a little stir crazy. So this is the beauty of having your own business. You can make it suit you. And just based on the fact that I've been out like 4 days and I really enjoyed myself, and I'm meeting people again and I'm doing deals, it's going to help me give you a better user experience. Because just give you an example. There's WePay, there's not Link. I'm going to do a video. I'm going to do a video or give you a sheet. But there's all these payment processor systems that didn't exist in 2009. WePay, which I'm working on, it works like PayPal. You can do everything you do with WePay. You can do it with PayPal. And I was just like really blown away by that. So just stuff like that, with me getting in the business to a degree, is forcing me to flesh out certain things. Yeah, you can use eBay. Like, I know this would be crazy if I got back on eBay, because I have vowed I will never use PayPal again. And if WePay works well, I'll probably do an eBay ID using that as a payment process. But it's going to be not the regular stuff. With Reselology, with consignment, essentially you're brokering into a deal with someone that has something for sale. And as long as you spell out that, hey, I may put it on eBay, I may put it on Craigslist, I may put it here, I may sell it to friends, you're good to go. Any more questions? Because we are bumping up on the time limit. Like I said, I'm trying to keep these short because I know people have a lot of stuff to do. So I will hold on for a few more seconds. No problem. And also, we'll be back here again Monday, 7 p.m., and it'll be next Thursday. I'm a little slack on sometimes sending out the webinar invites, but those 2 days are on lock. It's Mondays and Thursdays. And then there'll be stuff that's going to drop. Oh, and Mental Mondays is coming back, and some other stuff. Just so you know. Okay, well, I'm going to end it here, and then we can rock on. And there'll probably be a video up on YouTube tonight, just to let you know. All kind of cool stuff. So, all right. Just want to say thanks for everybody coming out. Appreciate it. And we're going to rock on. There's going to be a lot of good stuff coming in the next few months.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be